UFOs and aliens have been playing with our heads for a really long time. We still don't know for sure if they exist or not. The universe is so big they might be real, but different weird creatures not only exist outside of planet Earth. Stories and recordings of sightings of weird and mysterious creatures have been going around the news and internet for a long time. The world is far too big for us to explore completely, so we don't know what exists. We're going to show you a list of 10 mysterious creatures that were caught on camera, but before we get to that, don't forget to subscribe. Number 10. Dragons. Two students at Jilin University in China saw something weird in the air when they were getting out of a library. One of them recorded it on his phone. The thing was later described as a 10-meter-long red flying creature with 4 legs and a tail. It was flying really high and radiated a low metallic light that increased in intensity before it vanished in the southeast direction. According to many reports from China in the past, Chinese dragons have reportedly turned up on news broadcasts, security camera footage. Not just in China, they've been spotted as far away as a Buddhist temple in Penang, Malaysia. The official existence of dragons exists only in a Game of Thrones, but we never know what might be lurking around in this world. Number 9. Goblins. If you think goblins only exist in Lord of the Rings movies, you're wrong. In fact, they're in so many numbers that goblins are a problem of increasing concern in Zimbabwe. In 2012, schoolgirls from the St. Sebastian Secondary School in Bulawayo ran away from the class when they were supposedly attacked by goblins resembling dwarves that transformed into baboons. These evil spirits are known as Zvinkwambo in the Shona language. The weird thing about them is they're only visible to people who are attacked by the goblins. These goblins have been accused of everything from invading marital beds and demanding sexual favors to attacking nurses and the police. A local businessman named Esau Mupfumi was forced to defend himself against accusations of using goblins to make people purchase his goods. Number 8. The Mermaids. Mermaids are known to be unreal, but this may change your views on that question if mermaids really do exist or not. People in the Israeli town of Kiryat Yam have reported sightings of a mermaid. How do they know it's a mermaid? Well, according to the reports, it's a mixture of a young girl and a dolphin. Once sighted, the creature performs acrobatic tricks for a while, then disappears beneath the waves. The town has encouraged the stories, which have been good for the local tourist economy, and the local council has even offered a cash prize of $1 million to anyone who gets photographic evidence of the aquatic humanoid. To get the prize and show the world it's real, in 2010, an NBC investigative team spent a week filming along the beaches of Kiryat Yam. The crew claimed they spotted the mermaid at night, but were unable to track it after it dove out of sight. Hoax videos of the supposed mermaid have gone viral several times over the years, but no confirmed videos have been known. Number 7. Aswang. There are many tales of monsters in the Filipino folklore, but the one with the strongest influence in the modern world is that of the Aswang. Aswang is a very famous, shape-shifting, blood-drinking creature that preys on humans and animals at night. It has ill-defined features and powers. Some say it can transform into a pig or dog, others that it can separate the front half of its body and fly around. But the weirdest assumption is that it has a long tongue, which is used to suck unborn babies from their mother's wombs. In 2014, an anonymous text message caused panic. It was from a police officer saying that Aswang had been spotted and was killing people. The local police denied any such report and believed the whole thing was a joke, but belief in the creature has led to a tragedy. In 2014, a 70-year-old woman in Bacolod City was beheaded by her own son when he became convinced that she was an Aswang. The previous year, in the same city, a drunk man beat his neighbor to death, believing that he was a cannibalistic Aswang. And in 2013, a man hacked his mute daughter and sent her into critical condition at a hospital in a case of apparent Aswang mistaken identity. Real or fake, we're going to let you guys decide. Number 6. The Falcon's Nest Pixie Skeleton. In 2015, a podcast in the United Kingdom received photos from a listener of the podcast. The anonymous listener worked for a bird rescue center, and one of his jobs was inspecting the nests of endangered birds to check breeding numbers and prevent the theft of rare eggs by collectors. During one such routine check in a falcon's nest, he discovered the weird bones hidden among twigs and feathers. The guy collected them in a sample bag. He assumed them to be the remains of a Cornish pixie. If you don't know what that is, a pixie is a mythical creature of folklore. He was afraid that no one would believe him, so he sent the photographs to the podcast to get their perspective on the find. The people on the podcast were completely baffled by the findings, but didn't know what it was. No research has been done on the findings since then. Number 5. The Alabama leprechaun. In 2006, a camera crew from a local television station went to Alabama to investigate crowds massing in the area. Not knowing anything, they asked around and found that some people in the crowd had seen a leprechaun hiding in a nearby tree. A leprechaun is a type of fairy in Irish folklore. They're usually depicted as little bearded men wearing a coat and hat who partake in mischief. Just like the Irish people, they're not that big, but are definitely terrifying. An amateur sketch of the Irish creature was produced, and his likeness, in combination with colorful interviews with local residents, helped to make the report an early viral video on YouTube, which was new to the internet. A follow-up investigation by AL.com in March 2015 featured an interview with a man who claimed to have been the first to see the leprechaun. He described the appearance of the creature as being a metamorphosis. Since the famous report, he's tweeted about sighting the leprechaun several times, reporting 70% visibility on one occasion in 2010. Weird, but that's just how people are. No official sightings of the creatures have ever been known. Number 4. The Naga. A local man named Sayan Chomkamsinga discovered an object while fishing in a pond near his house in April 2015. It was a bronze figurine of a Naga, a snake-like creature from Buddhist cosmology. But Sayan claimed that when he first discovered it, the object was slimy and wriggling, only turning to bronze when it came into contact with the air. Police took the figure in order to deliver it to the Department of Fine Arts to determine its historical value, but were surrounded by 300 faithful pilgrims who believed the object to be the actual body of a Naga. The police managed to get the figurine into a van after some negotiations, but the angry people tried to break its windows. The Department of Fine Arts determined that the object was less than 30 years old and returned it to the police. While the police suspect Sayan of defrauding the pilgrims, he maintains that the figurine represents the genuine remains of a Naga. Number 3. Jilin. In 2014, a man in the United Arab Emirates was allowed to divorce his wife after he discovered that she was possessed by a supernatural spirit known as a Jilin. The guy claimed that the possession of the Jilin over his wife made her refuse to have sex with him. He then told him to discuss the matter with her family, who told him that religious scholars had failed several times to exorcise the spirit. The Dubai Sharia court granted the man the divorce and ordered him to pay alimony of $11,000, but there is a plot twist here. Then the woman never got the money because she hadn't been honest about the Jilin possession. In another case like this, Ahmed Al-Khatib of Manchester was accused of murdering his wife. He pled not guilty to murder charges on mental health grounds. He claimed to have seen his wife in the form of a terrifying Jilin, which made him push her away. She died when she hit her head on a piece of furniture. One witness claimed that he had earlier said of his wife, "She is not a woman, I will kill her." We think it was probably Al-Khatib himself who later freaked out in the middle of the courtroom, grabbed an interpreter by the neck, and shoved him against the wall. And with that, it's now time for today's subscriber pick. Today's photo was sent to us by a subscriber. If you come across a photo online and want to know more details about it, just send it over to us. We might even feature it in a future video. Number 2. It seems like this picture was edited, but we get why someone would edit it. Monsters this big are known to have existed millions of years ago along with dinosaurs, but nothing like this exists now. We can confirm that.
I saved the best for last, but first, I have a quick challenge that takes only 5 seconds to complete. If you can leave a like and subscribe within the next 5 seconds, you'll get 10 years of amazing luck. Just try it, it really works.
Number 1. Water monster. In eastern Iceland, there exists a lake called Lagerflot. The lake is known to be home of Lagerfjordsormurinn. It's highly likely that you don't know what that is, but that's what we're here for. It's a legendary sea serpent or worm monster. The interesting thing about it is that it's existed in history books since the 14th century. Many records of this creature have been scripted in history books. In 2012, a YouTube video of a mysterious shape moving in a strange manner beneath the ice spread throughout the internet, and became very famous. Many believe it was the same creature they read about. Finnish researcher Misa McCowan checked the video and stated that the apparent moving body was actually stationary in the water and was probably nothing more than an icy fishing net or piece of cloth. However, the local government formed a truth commission to determine whether the footage was real. 7 out of 13 members of the panel ruled that the footage was real. Had it been 1 or 2 people, you could say they're wrong, but 13? That's a lot of people, so there's still a possibility that this thing really exists. Most of the waters of the world haven't been discovered yet, so we don't really know what exists deep in the oceans. That's our list of 10 mysterious giant creatures caught on camera. Have you ever seen any of these creatures in your life? Let us know in the comments, and if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.